Welcome back to the part 2 of the jumpsuit tutorial. So in this tutorial, I'll be teaching how to grab the trouser part of the jumpsuit. So the drop for the trouser part of the jumpsuit, the measurements that you'll be needing are your waist measurements, your waist, your hip circumference, your trouser length, or the total length of the jumpsuit. The trouser length will be the total length of the jumpsuit minus the half length, right? Then we need your waist to hip measurements, the actual waist to hip measurement, and then we need the waist to knee measurement. So first of all, I drew a margin here. I drew this 5-inch here. This upper part of the margin is 5-inch, and then this side is 2-inch. So as I progress into the tutorial, you know why there is a margin here, here, and here. So the waist I'm working with is waist 32, the hip 45. Waist to hip 10, the length 40, the actual length of the jumpsuit is 59, the half length, which is the half scale, is 18. 49 minus 18, I have 41. So the length of the trouser is 41, waist to hip is 10, and waist to knee, the one I'm working with, is 22. So first of all, I'm going to draw a box, a crotch, a box on this pattern. So to get the measurement of the box is a square box. You divide your hip circumference into 4. So 45 divided by 4 have 11.25. So from here, from this margin, I will mark out 11.25. I'll mark out 11.25. I'll also mark out 11.25. So from here, also on this side of this margin, I'll also mark 11.25. Then here, I'll also mark 11.25. So now I'm going to connect everything. So this is what I'll be having. So from here to this point is my crotch length of the crotch length of the basic trouser. From this point to this point is the crotch length of the basic trouser. So because it is jumpsuit, we are going to definitely add to the crotch length. So there are different methods of doing this, but for me, take the difference between the actual waistline, which is your normal waistline, and the lower waistline. So for this tutorial, it is going to be 2.5 inch. So the 2.5 inch, I'm going to add it to the uppermost part of this pattern. So here I'll add 2.5 inch here. I'll add 2.5 inch here. So after that, I can actually clean up this margin, this particular margin. So this is going to be my waistline, and this is my crotch line. So the next measurement to be imputing here is your waist to hip measurement. And for this tutorial, I'll be using 10. So you can use whatever yours is. I'll be using 10. Waist to hip 10. Waist to hip 10. Then I'm going to collect it like this. So this is my hip line. So next I'll be imputing my waist circumference. The waist measurement I'm using here is 32. 32 divided by 4, we divide the waist circumference into 4, plus 1 inch for the dart. 32 divided by 4, I have 8 plus 1 inch, I have 9 inch for the dart. So after marking out the 9 inch, I'll connect it to my line like this, using a straight line. So next we'll be calculating the crotch extension. So to get the trouser crotch extension for the front, you divide the hip circumference by 20. 45 divided by 20, I'll have 2.25. 45 divided by 20 is 2.25. On the crotch line, I'll mark it and I'll extend it out to the point. So this is where the 2.25 is, from here to here for the crotch extension. Then next, I'll be coming with my core to connect this crotch extension to this line. But before I do that, on this hip line, I'll come out by 0.25. Then next, I'll come with my core and blend these both parts together. So this is how I'll be placing my core, like this, like this. Then with your pencil or your mark pen, you draw, you blend up this, connect this whole point, like this. So the next measurement we'll be imputing on this pattern is the waist to knee measurement. I'm using 22, waist to knee 22. So now I'm going to connect. So next, I want to, draw the grain line of the trouser. And to get that, you are going to divide what you have on your crotch line from this point to this point into 2. From here to here, you divide it into 2. This is what I'm having. I'll mark it out there. Then I will extend it down on this knee line. I will extend it down here and then down to the trouser hem. So for this trouser, there is actually no hem right now because I'll complete, since it is a straight trouser, I'll add to the length on my fabric. I'll add to the length of my fabric. So I'm going to extend this line, the green line. I'm going to connect the green lines. But you can also add to your pattern to get the actual complete length of the trouser. It's a straight trouser, so I'll add the remaining length on directly on my fabric. So now I'm going to get the knee measurement. So like I said, the trouser pattern of this jumpsuit is more like a straight trouser, a straight trouser, like more like a mini palazzo, a straight trouser. So I wouldn't want it to to take out. So what I'll do, I'll remove 1/2 inch on both sides of what I have on this my crotch line. So what I have is on my crotch line, I'm having like 13.5. I'll remove 1/2 inch here and then 1/2 inch there. 13.5. I'll remove 1/2 inch here and then 1/2 inch on this side. So I'll be left with 12.25. No, I'll be left with 12.5 here. So we have left 12.5. So if you want yours to be more fitted, you can go ahead and take your knee circumference, divide by 2 and put it on your knee line, right? So what I'll do here, after that, I'm going to connect this point using a straight line. The same thing, I will extend the line down, mark out my knee. Then for this part, I'll be using my cuff. I'm going to place my cuff like this, right? It should not be too curvy. I'll connect it like this. Then I will extend it down. If you want your trouser to, like I said, if you want your trouser to be a more fitted trouser pattern, you can actually go ahead, take your knee circumference, divide into two, and come here on the knee line and impute the measurements. So this is it for the trouser. The length, what I have here is 32. On my pattern, on the fabric, I'll add to the actual length, which is 41. I'll add the rest of the length directly on my fabric. So this is it for the front part of the trouser. But before I proceed to the back pattern, I'm going to blend in this curve like this. Okay. You blend in this curve, you blend in this curve. So for the back pattern, I'll be using a different color of marker so you get to see very, very well. I'm extending out this line, right? I will extend out my hip line, my waistline, and my crotch line. So, to get the trouser, the back pattern, on your crotch line, go in by 1 inch, right? You go in by 1 inch. Then on the waistline, go in by 2 inch. Then after that, you are going to connect the two lines together like this. Then when you get to this point, you extend it out by 2 inch. So this is 2 inch. Extend out the crotch length of your back trouser pattern by 2 inch or 1.5, depending on how big the person's bum is. So you can either do 1.5 or 2 inch. Or for this, uh, for for the measurement you are using 2 inch. It is you are using 2 inch. So from this crotch line, you are going to measure your hip circumference. What you have 11.25. From here, I'm going to mark out 11.25. So starting from this new cross line for the back, I'll mark out 11.25. Then I will also take it to my hip line. So what I have left from here, I have one. I'll take it up here, right? I'll take it up here. So on the waistline, this is the back waistline. I have my waist. I'll increase my waist measurement plus the dart, which is 9. This is where the 9 is. It is there. It is there. So I just remember that I did not add the dart for the front pattern. So when we are done drafting the back pattern, we'll be adding the 2 darts. So I'll be going to connect it like this. So this is it. Then I'll connect these points to this hip line like this. And then for the back, you also have the back crotch extension. So the crotch extension for the back, to get the crotch extension for the back, you divide by hip into your hip circumference by 10. So 45 divided by 10, I have 4.5. So here, from this back crotch line, I will mark out my 4.5, which is, I'll have to extend it a little bit. 4.5, this is here. This is 4.5. Then link it up to this point, right? So on the hip line, I'll also come out by 0.25, right? Then I'll come with my curve and link up the whole stuff. So you can't actually get the curve, direct. So you can just do it one after the other. You can link up this part and this part first, then you complete it. So this is how I'm placing my curve. You link all this part like this, then you can go ahead and complete the curve like this. So this is the curve for the back part. This is the back part. Then for the knee, all I'm going to do for the knee, I'll just add half an inch to this side, half an inch to this side for the knee measurement, half an inch, okay, and then half an inch to the front nail. Same thing down, half, and then half here. I'll do half an inch here. I'll do half an inch here. So I'm going to connect this point to this point. This regular. Then I'll also connect it like this. Right? Then for the inseam, for the inner part of the trouser, this is how I'm going to connect it like this. And then, so like I said, I'll be adding to the length, this trouser length, directly on my fabric. So I'm going to blend in this part with my curve. So this is how I am drafting the pattern for the jumpsuit. So before I forget, I want to add the darts now. So this is the center front, CB, center back, side front, and side back. So since it's going to be a jumpsuit, I will want my darts to align, right? This is the pattern of the upper part. This is it, so I will mark it out here so that when I'm sewing, the darts will align. This is where it is, right? So from this point, this is 3.2 inches. From this point, I will mark out the 1 inch for the dart intake. This is it. So in between should be my darts. In between these 2 points should be the darts leg, right? But if you really do not want your darts to align, you can just take the midpoint of these 2 points and draw your darts at that point. But for this, I want my darts to match up. So that is why I'm going through this process. So the dart for the front, I'll be using 5 inch. So at this midpoint, and then this. So when I done sewing the darts, it will match up like this. To match up with the pattern, the same line, that line of the upper part of the body. So for the back, I will do the same thing. I will do 3.2, it's 3.25 here. So after there, I'll mark out my 1 inch dart intake. Then I'll also mark the dart leg, which is the midpoint between these 2 points. Then I'll draw out my dart leg. So the dart for the back, I'll do 6 inches for the back. So the dart leg should be perpendicular to the waistline for the back. I'll do 6 inch for the back. This is 6 inch. Then I'll come and draw my dart leg. Then draw the dart line. So the front pattern is on the purple marker, and then the back pattern is on the blue marker. I'm going to trace out this pattern. I'll trace out the pattern, and then I'll have my front, trace out the front pattern. I'll also trace out the back pattern. So I am done tracing out the pattern and I'm also done cutting it out. I'll move on to transferring to fabric. So watch out. Bye.